Rolex have finally begun their CPO program, their certified pre-owned watches in the United States, with a beautiful website with all the pieces available to go along with it. And I have so many questions, so many questions. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm your host, Oisinomalley. Before I do anything, what am I wearing on the wrist? I have the Pepsi, the BLRO GMT Master, the very sought after Pepsi on the Jubilee bracelet. A very coveted watch, I think. And incidentally, a watch that isn't really showing up on any of these new CPO websites at all, which I do find kind of interesting. So if you're not aware, several months back, or what was it, 4 months back, something like that, Rolex announced that they were going to start selling used watches, the certified pre-owned program. Now, just to clarify, Rolex don't actually sell any of their watches. They hand them over to authorized dealers who are authorized to sell them on their behalf. But for all intent and purpose, it's basically the same thing. This is Rolex dictating to their authorized dealers what they're going to do. Now, this set ripples shockwaves through the watch world, because up until then, authorized dealers would only sell brand new watches. The whole used watch thing was for the grey market. That was their place in this entire thing. But then when they announced that they were going to start selling used watches also, so many questions arose. How much these watches were going to cost, where these watches were going to come from, how many would be available, etc., etc. There were so many gaps to be filled in. Well, now we're getting all the answers kind of slowly, and now that it's finally hit the United States and there's a website, we can see exactly the prices, we can see the way they're approaching it. I think it's bloody insane, and I have a list of the weirdest things about it. So Lenny's going to give me a hand with the list as always. Hit it, Lenny.
Wait, a new one is cheaper?
Well, we know why this is, because, you know, frankly, Rolex watches fetch higher prices on the market. So this has always been the case. Like, if you buy it outside of a Rolex AD, you're going to spend a lot more, especially if it's a very hot piece like the Pepsi or whatever. This thing was going almost 3 times retail this time last year, and it's still going around double retail even now. The reason for that was, of course, that you couldn't get them new. Getting it new from the AD is practically impossible, especially this or a white dial Daytona and various other models. You have to jump through all sorts of fucking ridiculous hoops and build a spend history and all sorts of stuff. Frankly, it's probably just a shorter, quicker and cheaper route just to go to the grey, spend the extra money and get the watch today and be done with it. But it was always a kind of an unofficial thing that these watches were fetching more on the market. Rolex continued to just ask for their retail price, upping it by a few percent every year, but still remaining in that same bracket, while the grey market ran riot. Now that Rolex are selling these themselves through their ADs, of course, they're actually asking for market price, in some cases even higher than market price. So this is like, it's a crazy moment, because we're finally realizing that Rolex are admitting they know exactly what their watches fetch on the market, and they're asking for that price, which just seems odd to me that they would do it. I understand the grey market doing it, but the fact that Rolex would do it themselves just seems a little greedy or something. Does it not? Now, I understand that they're doing this through the guise of authorized dealers. Like, Rolex don't sell any watches themselves. They give them to their authorized dealers. The authorized dealers actually purchase them from them and then sell them on. So I understand it's a little bit of a loophole there, but we know it's Rolex. It's Rolex dictating how this goes. If any of these authorized dealers step out of line or do anything against Rolex rules, they'll lose their authorized dealership. So really, this doesn't really wash with me, the fact that they're not actually directly selling their own products to the public. So I don't buy that shit.
Hold on, how much over retail?
Not only are they asking for market prices, but they're asking kind of over market price. They're asking for at least 20, 30, even 40% over what the market is asking for, which is already an inflated price. So they're really doubling down on the fact that their watches are very sought after. Why someone would prefer to buy from them versus grey market, there are many different reasons. A lot of people would just trust a Rolex authorized dealer more than they would a grey market dealer. There are all sorts of things can go wrong and so on. There's just that inherent kind of foundation of trust getting it from Rolex themselves or their authorized dealer, because you know they don't sell directly. But you know, it's kind of crazy the kind of prices they're looking for. They're even more bloated than the grey market. So it's a very brazen move, and they're kind of doing it with a straight face. It's fascinating.
Older, newer, same price.
This is something I find really weird. They all seem to be the same price depending on the model. The year of the particular watch in question doesn't seem to make any difference. So if you look at the 116710 LN, the GMT Master 2 with all black bezel, one of my favorite watches in the catalog. They have ones from 2007, 2008, which is when they were announced. They also have others from 2015, 2018, way newer, and they're all the same price. They're all $16,750. I don't get that. Surely you would buy the newer one. Why on earth would you buy the older one unless that year was meant something to you or something like that, some sentimental thing? But I can't see why you would turn down a 2018 GMT Master 2 and take a 2007 instead for the exact same price. That 2007 has been around a lot longer. It's probably been worn a lot more. It may have been polished a few times in its years, whereas the 2018 is less likely to have gone through all of that wear and tear. You're essentially getting a newer watch for the same price. So in the grey market, you would definitely see the prices would reflect between a 2018 and a 2008, that 10 years will probably be a couple of $1,000 in the price difference. But on the site, all the same models have all the same prices regardless of their age. Are there people out there who are really going to choose the 2008 over the 2018? I don't understand. What the fuck is going on? I don't get it.
Like add to cart, just add to bag.
This is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. Add to bag, like you just click it and you put it in a cart and then check out and they ship you the watch like you're buying like a lens on Amazon or something. Like, what is happening? I've never seen this happen before. You can just click your way through the website and fill up your cart and and check out just like you're buying a, I don't know, extension cord or something on Amazon. Like
Free shipping.
quite often the shipping can be like a major extra expense with these watches. I mean, you got to insure the box. Like, you know, it's a very expensive item in there, and you got to make sure it arrives safely. So quite often shipping can be a big expense either for the dealer or for you. A lot of dealers won't cover it, and you've got to cover it yourself. Free shipping is kind of cool, but at the same time, you're paying such a premium over even the market price for most of these pieces that really the shipping really isn't that free after all.
You gotta be kidding me with this one.
This one blows my mind. I mean, do they mean to tell us they're offering a no questions asked 14-day return policy? I mean, there are so many things that can go wrong with that. One challenge a lot of grey market guys have is when people buy a watch, you know, at the end of a week, and over the weekend they wear it at a wedding, and then they just send it back the following week. They just wanted the watch so they'd look good in all the wedding photographs. That's a problem. The watch might come back a little bit scratched up and so on. There are so many problems there, and dealers will take back a watch if there's an issue and so on. You got to get them on the phone. You got to explain what the whole issue is. It's not exactly just a one-click process, and it's not, because they're trying to avoid you just taking advantage of them. With a no questions asked 14-day thing, you could go hog wild. I mean, as long as you have the credit on your card to do it, you could buy several of their watches, try them out, wear them, enjoy them, take them on holiday, and just before the 2 weeks expire, you could just ship it back. No questions asked. I mean, what an absolute waste of time for Rolex themselves or for their authorized dealers representing them. I mean, think of all the YouTubers who don't have the watches. You know, if I don't have a certain Rolex watch and I want to review it, I can just buy it on a card, charge it, review it, film the hell out of it in Venice, and then send it back. Like, think of all the ways people could abuse that whole system. It seems pretty crazy that they would offer that. But again, it's feeling like fucking Amazon, isn't it? Amazon Prime.
So what now for the grey market?
This has really always been the biggest question. How are the grey market guys going to react to this? I mean, it was thought at first that they would have to up their game somehow. Now they have there's a new guy in town, you know, extra competition. But I don't know if really Rolex have forced their hand in any way. I mean, because of those prices being so much higher than the asking market price, I think it's going to actually work the other way. That now the grey market can say, well, listen, you know, take it from us from 15 because Rolex are asking 20 for it on their CPO. You can save yourself 5,000 bucks. And what's the difference? We'll give you, you know, coverage for 2 years. We're on the other end of the phone if you ever need us, etc., etc. They can offer so much. Okay, you don't get that certain feeling like you will from getting it from Rolex, but at the same time, if you're ordering it online, that kind of cuts those ties between you and the authorized dealer anyway, right? You're just getting it delivered like an Amazon box. So I don't know, like, if anything, I think people thought this would make grey market dealers up their game, but actually I think it just might make them up their prices. And that's it. That's all I got. It's just a very weird program indeed, but I'll still be on there on the website scouring the pages to see what comes up next as they sell these watches. There's roughly 1,000 on the US website right now. None of these, no BLROs for some reason, I don't know why, no root beers, but perhaps they have those waiting in the wings and they'll start rolling those out soon. God knows how much they're going to ask for a Pepsi. I can only expect it to be somewhere in the region of 23, 24. Definitely 5,000 above what the market is asking. Anyway, that is it from me for now, guys. Just wanted to get all those thoughts out of my head here and put them out to you. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think is the answer to all these bizarre queries I have. And that is it. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching the channel. Take it easy.